Let's go Broncos! What if I told you Sean Payton just made a bold admission that could completely change the course of our season, starting this Sunday? What if I told you the Broncos might be hiding a rising star in the backfield and that our defense could be the most dangerous in the league without even blitzing? Stick around because what's happening behind the scenes in Denver might surprise you. But before we get started, be sure to like this if you're a true Broncos fan. And if you've been a Broncos fan for over 20 years, leave a comment saying, "Go, Broncos! My heart bleeds orange and blue." Now, let's get to it. As the Broncos gear up to face the Indianapolis Colts in Week 2, the energy in Dove Valley is intense, and it's not just the altitude. Sean Payton, after a self-reflective post-game and follow-up presser, has publicly taken the blame for the way he called last Sunday's game. His words weren't hollow. You could see it in his demeanor, hear it in his voice. This was a man genuinely disappointed in his own performance. And he's owning it. He admitted, "I've called a lot of games in the NFL and I can't remember that many where I walked off the field and just shook my head and said, man, I've got to do better." That's not coach speak. That's accountability. What went wrong? Payton admits he got away from the scheme. Trying too hard to prove Bo Nix's arm talent, they leaned into the passing game far too much, to the point that play action became ineffective. Tennessee knew what was coming and made Denver pay. But that's about to change. Expect a very different offensive identity this Sunday. The word is explosion. The run game is coming, and with it, the Broncos could torch the Colts. And speaking of the run game, let's talk R.J. Harvey. This rookie is not just flashing, he's shining. As it stands, he's already among the league's top rookie rushers, trailing only Ja'Cory Cross-Merritt of the Commanders. But here's the kicker, he did that with limited carries. Imagine what he could do with 5 or 6 more touches. Payton knows it. The fans know it. Sunday might be R.J. Harvey's breakout. There's more. Tight end Evan Ingram, who many feared would be sidelined, is trending in the right direction. He returned to practice as a limited participant after suffering a calf bruise. Watching him work on the side field with the team in stretches is a great sign. Ingram's role is about to grow significantly, especially if the Broncos can establish the run and unlock that tight end screen game. Payton believes Ingram could be a massive part of the offense this season, and we're starting to see why. Injury updates bring more cautious optimism. Dre Greenlaw hasn't practiced yet, but Sean Payton hinted that progress is good. A Denver Post report even suggested he could return as early as Week 2, and if that happens, it would be perfect timing. Why? Because Colts tight end Tyler Warren is emerging fast, already drawing comparisons to Brock Bowers' rookie season. Denver will need a linebacker like Greenlaw to match up in coverage. One injury that caught everyone off guard, though, was John Franklin Myers. With Malcolm Roach already on injured reserve, Franklin Myers' status becomes critical. No definitive update yet, but his absence could leave a gap on the defensive front. Now, let's shift focus to what might be the most exciting storyline, this Broncos defense. They didn't just sack Cam Ward 6 times last game, they overwhelmed the Titans' offensive line, forcing multiple holding penalties and disrupting everything. Nick Bonitto, graded the best edge rusher in the NFL last week with a 91.5 rating. Jonathan Cooper came in at number 10. And don't forget Jonah Ellis, who was also unstoppable. Titans fans were confident in their O-line, but Denver made them look like a JV squad. And here's the best part. The Broncos didn't blitz all game to get those pressures. Only 30% of the time. Which means the front four is feasting, freeing up the rest of the defense to roam and create havoc. They led the league in pressures, with a blistering average time to pressure of just 0.8 seconds. That's not just good, that's elite. And now they get to test that front against Daniel Jones, who looked great last week, but faced the least pressure of any quarterback. He's not ready for this. Let's not overlook the genius of Davis Webb, now part of the Broncos coaching staff. He knows Daniel Jones better than anyone and will have unique insight into how to rattle him. With Payton's aggressive mind and Webb's insider knowledge, this Broncos defense might put on a show. Bo Nix, meanwhile, showed flashes of why he was such a hyped prospect. Despite turnovers and a tough outing, it's important to note the Titans played zone coverage on 91% of the snaps, the most in the NFL last week. That was clearly a game plan designed to contain Nix's mobility. But he adjusted. He grew as the game went on. He's learning. And with this staff and that brain, they don't call him Bobot for nothing. He'll bounce back strong. And how about punting? All offseason panic about the Broncos lacking competition at punter now seems ridiculous. The Australian punter is ranked number 2 in the league through 2 weeks. Special teams coordinator said he had the highest ceiling of any kicker he's worked with, and it's showing. A quiet, huge win for this roster. Lastly, let's give some love to George Payton. The decision to re-sign Nick Bonitto before a potential breakout now looks genius. Had they waited, Bonitto might command north of $40 million. Instead, they locked him in early. That's long-term cap health and winning football. Let's pick up right where we left off. If Sean Payton sticks to his promise and leans into the ground game this Sunday, we could be looking at one of the most balanced and dangerous offensive performances the Broncos have put together in recent years. And here's why it matters. The Colts' defense isn't built to handle what Denver is about to throw at them. Not just figuratively, literally. This is a defense that didn't line up in a stack box once in their last game. That's like leaving the front door wide open when R.J. Harvey and J.K. Dobbins are on the other side, just waiting to run through it. And here's something else to consider. If Evan Ingram is fully back, those tight end screens that were sputtering in week 1 could become lethal. The defense won't be able to sit back on the pass anymore. They'll have to respect the run, which opens up play action, which opens up Bo Nix to make smart decisions, something he's known for. The pressure of being a rookie won't be nearly as heavy if the offense is moving the ball with rhythm. Ingram could be the safety valve that unlocks it all. Bo Nix, for his part, showed a lot more poise than he's getting credit for. He had to face the highest rate of zone coverage in the league in week 1, and it's clear the Titans were doing that to contain his legs. They respected his athleticism. But guess what? That gave him a blueprint. Now he's seen it, learned from it, and will be prepared to dissect similar schemes. And let's not forget, last year, Bo Nix was at his best against zone defenses. The turnovers came from pressing, not from bad reads or panic. That's a rookie trying to do too much. Now Payton knows it. Nix knows it. That won't happen again. And let's talk defense again, because it just keeps getting better. The Broncos' pass rush was absolutely dominant in week 1 without even sending extra guys. That kind of control up front is the holy grail of modern NFL defense. It lets the linebackers and secondary play fast and loose, and that's exactly what we saw from players like Jade Barron, who quietly had one of the best games of any slot defender in the league. His lockdown coverage directly contributed to key sacks, and it's performances like that, from lesser-known players, that elevate an entire unit from good to elite. Now, if Dre Greenlaw can return this week, this defense might be downright scary. His ability to cover tight ends and running backs in space is exactly the tool Denver needs against a Colts offense that loves to utilize athletic mismatches. Tyler Warren is a real weapon for Indianapolis, but Greenlaw could neutralize him. Without him, that matchup becomes one to watch very carefully. But if Greenlaw is active, it tilts heavily back in Denver's favor. And then there's the intangible factor, momentum. This Broncos team is buzzing. The locker room is bought in. The young guys are stepping up. The veterans are leading. And there's a real sense that this is just the beginning. You can see it in how they responded to week 1. No finger pointing, just corrections, adjustments, ownership, and most importantly, belief. George Payton's offseason moves are aging beautifully. The decision to invest early in Nick Bonitto looks like a masterstroke. He was the top-rated edge rusher in the league last week, and he did it against the supposedly revamped Titans offensive line. When paired with Jonathan Cooper, who also cracked the top 10 in edge grades, you're looking at a tandem that can wreck games. And let's not forget Jonah Ellis, another relentless presence on the edge. With this kind of pressure, opposing quarterbacks are going to be forced into mistakes, and that's where Denver's secondary can feast. Special teams, once an overlooked piece of the puzzle, now looks like a hidden strength. The Australian punter, once a source of concern, is now the second-ranked punter in the NFL. And the coaching staff's confidence in him seems entirely justified. That's a huge win for field position battles, especially in tight games. Financially, the Broncos are also in a strong position.